file. Fine. But in case of Android, after the compilation, it's give you a file with extension of .dex. Fine. And you can easily download that dex file and you can transfer that dex file into mobile if mobile is Android based. And you can run that application inside a mobile and you can do. Fine. Now, all applications are written in a Java and available to each other. Android designed to enable reuse of the components in other application. Each application can publish its capability which other application can use. Means a feature of the Java means write once, run anywhere. Write once, use anywhere. And that's the feature of the Java, and that's also possible in Android. Means we can develop the things and that can be used anywhere. Means you have a capability reusability. Fine. So Android also provide you a reusability concept. I'm just showing you one application in Android how we can see just a real world environment. Then we can again start the theoretical things. You know Sodexo? Yes. Sodexo तो सबने खेला होगा. I'm just developing that. It's a basically Android emulator. If it's run on emulator, then you can easily run on mobile. साउंड इसमें आ सकता है हमारे मोबाइल. So I can just show you that we can also produce sound with Android. See, it's an Android interface. It's just like a browser. Fine. Hello. See what happened. I'm developing a Sodexo. You want to play game? Just click over that. Easy, medium, hard. Fine. So you can create our own application and use on mobile. It's not a just downloaded program, it's a developed program, and you can also develop that thing. It's a very easy. It's not the top things, it's a very much easy, and you can easily do that. One more program, like suppose now these days what happen whenever we are inputting any number through the keyboard of the mobile. So what happen? It's just pronounce that 1, 2, 3 like that. सुना आपने देखा है? I'm also do that. For loading Android, it's a very minimum configuration required. Only 1 GB of the RAM. Fine. Minimum P4 system is required, and it's a hardware requirement. And 40 MB of the space, not more than that. Fine. साउंड एक्चुअली नहीं आएगा उतना, जस्ट लाइक सुनाई दिया था कुछ, नहीं सुनाई देगा आपको, बहुत स्लो है साउंड इसका स्पीकर का. बेसिकली व्हाट वी से, व्हेनेवर वी कैन प्रेस एनी की देन इट्स जस्ट साउंड दैट. Like suppose I am pressing enter, then it's a enter. Whenever we can press up arrow, then it's a up, down, left, right, A, B, 1, 2, like that. Fine. So we can develop all the things in an Android. Now, what we say? Basically hardware requirement is only 40 MB of the space, 1 GB RAM, and minimum configuration of the processor is P4. For the software, what we require? For the software we require only two things. First, Eclipse IDE. Eclipse, Helios, it's a better for the Android development. You can use anywhere, but Helios is the good for the development of Android. And Android SDK, it's a freely available, you can download from Google's itself. Fine. And after that you can just configure Eclipse for the Android. How we can configure that? It's a very much easy. Just go in a preference, in a Eclipse window, a window have a preference. In a preference you can just select a location of SDK. जिस SDK को आपने डाउनलोड किया है from the Google, you can just configure that by selecting your location of the SDK file and then press OK. And what happen? Your system are configured for the Android development. Fine. Yes. Just I am showing. अच्छा, Eclipse, Helios. In Eclipse Helios window have a preference. In a preference you can just select Android, and from Android select a location of SDK. After that, one more thing, Android SDK and AVD manager, Android virtual directory. You must be create your own Android virtual directory. How we can create that? Virtual device, new. Give them any name, and then target is what? A version of Android. In which version you are going to be a program. So it's my suggestion कि always better you must, it's not compulsory, but it's a better कि you can select a lower version. Why in a lower version? Lower version are easily upgraded, but upper version cannot be downgraded. If you are developing in a 3.0 and suppose your mobile are based on 2.0 or 2.1, so what happen? That application cannot be worked. But if you are developing application in a 2.0 and your mobile based on 3.0, then it's easily work. So always better you can select lower version of the Android. Fine. Just select any version, and after that size. A maximum size is what? Maximum size means like suppose you are developing any application, that application how much memory you are requiring for that application. So your virtual machine must be more than that size. So it's better you can create a virtual directory size is always be a greater than your application. Fine. And then press OK. Now you are able to develop any kind of application inside Android. Now After creating the environment, how we can select the project, how we can write a program. Just click over the file. In a file, just select new and select Android project. Fine. यस क्या बात हो रही है? अगर नहीं अच्छा लग रहा है तो जा सकते हो बाहर. Now you give them name of the project. Name can be anything. कुछ भी हो सकता है, anything. You just place a name as, like suppose I am saying fine. Now select the version. In which version you are going to be a program. I am selecting 2.1. Now give them package name. It's mandatory you must be create package for that, and package is always two label, not only one label of the package, always in a two label. Means two label means what? Parent package have a sub package also. Fine. Then you are able to develop any application in Android, otherwise you are not able to do that. Like suppose I am creating here com.tcs, next and finish. So what happened? It's create an application called r-, automatically it's developed, created. There are so many folders. A first folder name is src, source. All the program written inside source. Fine. And the extension of that program is what? Java. And it's automatically name is like r- the activity. Activity file is what? All the design. View are designed here. You can design the view. You can create button, text box, anything which you want. After creating that, you must be arrange that. You know, in a Java, most of them I think learn applet or swing. Layout manager. पढ़ा था आपने? How many layouts in a Java? Give them name. Sorry? बस 4 अभी तक तो 4 ही हुआ. 6 आपने बोला बट 4 ही नेम हो रहा है. What's the use of layout manager? वही 4 घूम फिर के आ रहा है. Yes, what's the use of layout manager? Without layout, you are not able to design any application. It's good looking. Fine. So layout is just arranging your component in a actual place where you want to be display that component. So same like in Android also be arrange that component on actual location where you want to be display. Activity file is only for creating or only for designing the component. It's not placing where you want to be placed that. All the placing, place, or you can say XY coordinate are fixed in a XML file. XML file again where is situated in your Android? RES. RES is a folder resource. It's called resource. In a resource there are so many subfolders is there. There are two main folders. One is called value and second one is called layout. Value have a one file that's name is string.xml. String.xml is fixed value. Anything which you want to be a display constant, that's written inside in string.xml. All the layout where you want to be place your component are written inside main.xml. Fine. And it's a basically icons or image you want to be display on your application that place inside a drawable HDPI. Fine. There are three directory where we can place all the image which you want to be show on Internet Explorer or anywhere in your application. Fine. So basically what happen whenever we are creating any application in Android, so we can write two files, at least two files, one for the just creating component and second for the placing where you want to be place that thing, means layout management. Fine. Now we want to be display just a message hello. How we can write hello message? Just go in a string XML, select string XML file. By default it's written inside the hello word and name of your program. We can just fine. And application name is what? R dash name, string name is what? Hello, and that value is what? Welcome in R dash. Fine. That name hello are again place inside one more file that is called r.java. It's automatically generated, and R is what? Basically XML file are convert into Java file, and that Java file are associated with your activity file. In activity file what we show? r.layout.main, and R is what? It's associated with your string.xml file. String.xml file converted at the time of execution in a Java file, and that Java file are again associated with your activity file. And whenever we can run that, fine. So it's a very easy programming in Android. If anyone can know Java, then they are easily able to program inside Android, because it's just like a Java. Everything is a class, because Android is a OOPS based language, OOPS language. So each and everything in a class, and class have a collection of objects. There are so many objects: button, text field, edit text, text view. There are so many things inside that. Fine. Now again a theoretical concept. Basically it's just look like that. Hello Android, it's a screen. In a screen basically as your programming are divided in so many sections. You can say it's a structure of the Android. First it's called view. View is what? It's such as list, grid, text box, button, and even as embedded web browser. All are the part of the view. Fine. Second is content provider. Content provider work is what? That's enable application to access data from other application by accessing SQLite. Fine. Activity manager. Activity manager is what? It's manage your all life cycle of the program. What the life cycle? Yes. Applet life cycle. Init, start, stop. Last one is what? Destroy. But in case of Android, only 3. Init, start, and destroy. There is no stop. Why there is no stop? What happen अगर आप एप्लीकेशन को स्टॉप पोजीशन में ले जाते हो, it means it's in a running position. If you can hold the application, means it's a stop position. So what happen? It's hold your resources. Fine. Resource को hold करके रखता है, so that what happen? Your memory are consuming always. That's why there is no stop position is there. Only init, start, and destroy is there. Fine. Notification manager. Basically notification manager is what? It's enable all the application to display custom alerts in the status bar. Like suppose as whenever SMS comes, you must be alert that. And that's work is what? It's basically it's governed by the notification manager. Resource manager provide access to non-code resource such as localized string, graphics, and layout files. Resource manager work is what? All the layout management are handled through the resource manager. Broadcast and receive. Whenever you can receive SMS, you must be alert that, and that is only through the broadcasting message. Fine. So broadcast received can trigger intent that start an application. Data storage. Whenever you want to be store the data, then you must be use data storage part. Provides data for your application and can be shared between application database, file, and share preferences. We are also using here a hash map. You know hash map? Java के अंदर अगर आपने collection framework पढ़ा होगा, then collection have a hash map, and hash map is a basically key pair value. It's a store key pair value, and it's basically for the storage purpose we are using hash map. Fine. Activity is the presentation layer of your application. There will be one per screen, and the view provide the UI to activity. Intent specify that a specific action should be performed. Intent is what? Whenever we are clicking over the button or anywhere, means you want to be fire any action. Like suppose submit. Whenever we are clicking on submit, it means we want fire some action, and that action are managed by the intent. Fine. Services. There are so many services inside the mobile or even your laptop. Anyone can give any name of the service? Service. Everyone laptop must have a virus scanner. Hai? Virus scanner cannot be run on front end. It's always run inside the back end. Things which are run inside the back end, that's called services. Fine. Not only virus scanner, there are so many services running inside your system. So services is what? That's always run in a background. Fine. So service run in the background and have no UI for the user. They will update data and trigger event. Like suppose you were saying whenever a date is this, then flash the memory. flash the message. Like birthday reminder, you are fixing the birthday reminder or anything's reminder. So what happened? A particular date you are flashing the message or anything. That is what? Basically a service. That's always working in your system, but whenever a specific event occurs, then it's fire. Fine. So it's a basically common architecture of the Android. And again, in Android, whenever we are in an Android development, then you just see the architecture of Android application. SRC is what? Basically for the code. Asset is for the files. All the image are stored inside the resource file. Auto generated resource lists are always be the name is r.java. Always. You cannot change that name. UI means user interface. Layout means how you can arrange text box, button and all the things are inside main.xml, and all the constant value are inside string.xml file. Fine. And all are governed through the Android manifest.xml file. Android manifest is what? It's basically it's manage all the application inside project. Fine. You know what is manifest file? Java mein manifest, I think you must be learn that. Manifest. Ever you create jar file, executable jar? Yes. In a Java. Okay, fine. Basically, whenever we are going to be create any executable file in a Java, so you must be create manifest file. Manifest file is what? Basically a files that define which one is the main file, which file is run first, and then you can access through that file. So location of main program are written inside manifest file. And same like in Android manifest is what? A location of your program, which program run first, after that which one run, and basically Android manifest is a file. It's define all the program location. Fine. Where you can notify in an Android application, always on a top. Whenever notification comes, it's display a message over that. Activity means I'm already explained that activity is what? All the design view part. Hello Android Java. Java is basically what? It's a view file. Intent means what? I'm already explained that. Intent is basically event. Every action have a certain reaction, and that reaction is called event. Fine. And that's in a Android manifest.xml file. Services are also be a part of your hello Java files. Means whenever you are creating any service, it's what? It's also again it's a Java file.